friends, it's Miss Jenkins, and I am so excited to do this final project of the year with you. This is going to be due on Saturday the 30th, May 30th at the very latest, preferably Friday the 29th, 29th is Saturday, the 28th is Friday, so I'm going to put a due date for Friday, which gives you the whole week. I know previously I've given you more time to do things, however, this last grading period, the grades are due much sooner. So just have fun. If you want to do a full sheet, 8.5 by 11 for this project, that's fine. If you want to do a half sheet, then you would just half all the sizes. So I hope you're excited to do this. These are called Summertime Selfies, and they're basically inspired by another colleague of mine that I really like, Cassie Stevens, and I'm gonna work on this project with you guys. So let's get started with materials. You're gonna need a good pencil, a good nice pencil that can make your lines pretty dark. You need a permanent marker, an eraser, a glue stick, scissors, and you'll need 2 sheets of white paper. Now this can be standard printer paper, like 8.5 by 11 inches. If you go half of that, then just split it in half, and we'll end up using both sides of the paper. And then markers and crayons also. So those are the things you'll need. If you don't have exactly all those things, just gather whatever you have, color pencils, markers, watercolor, whatever you have to add color is gonna work just fine. Okay, so let's get started. Let me show you these 2 examples. Here is an example of the girl that I did, and the reason these are called Summertime Selfies is because that's exactly what they are. You looking through a huge pair of sunglasses, and what's reflected in the sunglasses is your dreams of summer or your plans for the summer. So in this picture you can see that the girl is looking at this mountain and lake scene with a field of wildflowers and this beautiful boat sailing. And in this one here with my guy, he's looking at, this treehouse park scene, and he's like, I'm out of here. And she's like, peace out, y'all. So here we go. All right, so with your very first piece of paper, I want you to take that first piece of paper, and I need you to have it vertically, so long like this, profile view, and take the bottom of that paper and move it up to the top of the paper and match those edges together, and slide your finger down and crease it, okay? So now your paper is opening like this. Then turn your paper. You want the fold to be on the left side, okay? The fold is on the left side, and the opening is on the right side. So now you're gonna take your piece of paper that's folded, and you'll fold it again, and it's the same thing. It's gonna be the long side of that half sheet, and fold it up to where you meet those edges, and then crease, and like that. And now you can open it like this. Now the reason I'm having you do this is because I'm gonna show you 2 examples of sunglasses, but you can just choose which one you'd like to do, okay? So for my first pair of sunglasses, now remember, the paper is folded like this, and the fold is on this side, and then I'm folding it like this, so now you can see how it's folded like this and like this, okay? So I'm working on this one section here, which is 1/2 of half, which is 1/4 of the paper. So what you're gonna do here is you're going to take your pencil and your fingers, and I want you to find the most middle point between the sheet of paper right here, okay? And just make a mark right there, like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open this up so that you see my mark halfway down on this piece of the paper that's folded, and then I'm gonna come down here under the crease to do it again. The reason, again, that I'm doing this is so that you get to see 2 examples of glasses, but you only need to do 1. So literally you will just be working on one side of your paper, okay? If you choose to do both, that's fine. Then you'll be able to just pick which one you want to use for your selfie. Okay, so right there, we're going to make another short mark right under what you already have. So I'm doing it twice here and here because this will be a pair of sunglasses and this will be a pair of sunglasses. Then I'm gonna make a dot on the left corner of this upper part, and on this second part of my paper I'm gonna make another dot over here. Okay, those are just little polka dots. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm gonna make cat-like glasses. So I'm going to curve them and go all the way to my dot, okay? Then I'm going to come down a little bit and come in a little bit like that, all right? And I'm pushing pretty hard with my pencil on purpose. Then over here is gonna be the lower part of the glasses, and that's gonna curve all the way down to that crease and then come up, and I'm going slow, 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 and come up and meet my little section up here, okay? For this other style of glasses, we're gonna make them more square-like. So I'm gonna come up like this, kind of vertically, just straight up, and then I'm gonna curve around and go straight to my polka dot. And then I'm going to come down and curve here at the corner. Then I'm gonna come back to this middle section and come down and curve at the corner, and then let my glasses meet right there. So you see that we have a rounder, sort of cat-like shaped eyeglass, and this frame right here is going to be more of a square style, your choice. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully do the inside of my frame, because remember there's going to be a lens on the inside, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to follow the same curve that I already have around my glasses, and notice that I am turning my paper as needed, and I'm pushing pretty hard with my pencil, and there's a really important reason that we're doing that, which I'll show you in a second. So I'm curving around, and I'm not going to do it down here, but that's just because I'm going to stick with my one pair, but you've decided whether you're doing this one or this one. And now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and open my glasses like this, and then watch what I do, you guys. I'm going to fold the paper the opposite way so that now what I've drawn is on the inside of my fold. It's on the inside, and you can see when you're looking down, even on my copy right here, you can see the dark lines showing through. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm literally going to trace. I'm gonna push hard, but I'm going to trace over what I've already drawn. And the reason we're doing this is because it's really hard to get the exact same thing on both sides of the lens. So what I'm doing is I'm tracing over what I've already done with my pencil pretty hard. And what's gonna happen is, because I pushed pretty hard on the opposite side, it's going to create the other side for me by stamping these pencil marks over to this side. Isn't that super nifty? So you can see how I did that. I drew it on this side nice and dark, and then I could see it over here. I pushed hard with my pencil and traced right on top of what I saw, and then it brought it over here. Isn't that cool? So now what you can do, now that you have both sides of your glasses, you can use your permanent marker to trace on top of the pencil. Or you can also do this later, it's your choice, but I'm going to trace right on top of my pencil on the inside and the outside. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And isn't that cool how it basically creates a perfect mirror image of what I drew on one side? And that helps me to create symmetry. And symmetry is the same, and we want these glasses to be the same on both sides. of the lens, because in reality they would be the same, right? They would be perfect. They would be matching just right. Okay, so now that you've traced over this, you can go ahead and decide what you want to create for your summer scene, okay? Now, this can be whatever you want. Remember that when I showed you the examples, I had one that was sort of a mountain lake scene, and I had one that was sort of a park scene with a tree house. So you can do whatever you want. Just think about whatever you want for summer, and that's what you're going to create. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and create a beautiful rainbow. So a rainbow is going to have, think Roy G. Biv, so that's Roy G. Biv, and what this stands for is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, which is dark blue, and green. Sorry, violet, not G. Roy G. Biv, so that's violet. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and take out the indigo. I'm just going to focus on the Roy G. BV part. So that's how many colors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. So I'm going to go ahead and start my curves here. So that's 1, 2 sections, 3 sections, 4 sections, 5 sections, and 6 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I want this rainbow to continue on the opposite side of my glasses, because remember, the reflection isn't like a double reflection, it's just a whole reflection. So you want to imagine, I can kind of trace it with my fingers, and you want to create the same marks on this side that curve this way to create the other side of the rainbow. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 7th line is going to be for the 6 sections. Okay, so we've got our rainbow. Now I'm just going to extend my lines down a little bit further on both sides. If you need to do that, you can do that. And then I'm going to create some beautiful clouds, which are at the end of my rainbow. So now that we have that drawing, I'm going to create a couple of birds in the sky, maybe a couple over here, maybe a beautiful sun with its rays coming down. Maybe I'll create a kite blowing in the air with some kind of cool design in it, and it's the string of the kite is down here somewhere with some kid. And there are my glasses. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them out. Now wait for coloring, you can do that later. Oh, but this is what's so great, is you can fold your paper back so that both sides of your glasses are on the outside of the fold, right? And then instead of cutting both sections out separately, you can cut both at the same time. So I'm going to cut my glasses out. Now I'm cutting through both sides of the paper so that I can have both parts of my glasses cut at one time rather than having to go around them separately. Of course, if you feel more comfortable going around them separately, that's totally fine, but remember that your glasses do match, so you should be able to get a pretty accurate cut. And if there's any issue, like there's a little bit of white showing here, you can just trim it off after. Okay, now what you're going to do, my friends, is you're going to get your second piece of paper, okay? Your second piece of paper. And again, we're going to have this vertical, okay? So this is, the paper is the long way, not the wide way. And what you're going to do with this paper is you're going to figure out where you want to put your glasses. Now they're going to be coming off the page on the left and the right side, and this is because this whole thing is about that reflection, summer selfies. So the most important part of this picture is those sunglasses and what they're seeing. So they're going to be big and exaggerated. So you can go ahead and flip your glasses over, and you can add your glue, and remember that about that much on each side of your glasses is going to be hanging off the paper. So you really only need your glue till about here. So I'm just going to stop about here. And now that I have glued my glasses, I'm going to flip this back over. And I want to put them a little bit higher than the middle of the page, and they can be a little tilted or they can be perfectly left to right. I'm going to glue those down, and if you have that glue stick and it kind of rubs off a little bit, it's okay. You can always erase that later. Okay, so now I've got my glasses on, and now I'm going to add the rest. I'm going to go ahead and do a girl. But I can show you the boy example so you can kind of see what to do. So right under the rim, which is what sits on the nose, that's where you're going to add your little nose. And if you remember back in the beginning when we did our masked self-portraits, we did a nose very similar to this. You can make it a little bigger, a little smaller if you want. Right beneath that nose, I'm going to create my mouth. And you hopefully are using pencil, but if you are using marker, that's fine. Just be careful. I'm going to create the line for my teeth. And I'm going to create a little tongue in there, which is 2 little lumps. Then I'm going to work on the hair. So for this girl, I'm going to create some bangs that kind of go across her forehead, so they're going to be right there in between the 2 lenses above the nose rim. And I'm going to create like the top of the head right here, and I'm going to give her a ponytail. So I'm going to create this little circle or oval here, which will be her ponytail holder, and then I can pull out some hair this way. That hair can be coming out a little higher if you want it to. And these bangs can be coming down like this. And then we're going to do the bottom of the face, which is going to be down here. Make that just a little wider. And so now we have her hair and her mouth and her nose. We don't see the eyes because the eyes are covered up by the reflection. We're going to add 2 lines for the neck. We'll add a curve like that. And we'll add the shoulders that come down like this. Now, if you want to add fingers, that's like the peace sign. Okay, so the peace sign, if you look at your fingers, it's going to look something like this, so you can actually look at your fingers. But if you're looking at your fingers, your peace sign is just going to be a series of curved lines. So up here, these 2 lines, these 2 fingers here are going to be 2 pieces like that kind of open up at the top. Then you're going to have a thumb that comes here like that, and then you're going to have another finger here and another finger here, and now you have your peace sign, and you can see the sections that you can erase where the thumb might be blocking part of a finger. And since our fingernails show on these fingers, we can add fingernails here. And we can add fingernails on the thumb. And now you've got your peace sign. And then you can write something fun, like I think I wrote peace out. And you can use fun handwriting if you want, any kind of handwriting. You can say a statement if you want to. If you want to do a speech bubble, you can do that. I made the decision to leave everything in the background of my picture completely blank because I wanted to make sure that I emphasize the designs and the colors of the clothing and the glasses and the skin and the hair and all that. So you can see that there's just plenty of color and plenty of pattern and design and detail that you really don't need anything in the background. So here it is uncolored. Your job is now going to be to color it and to come up with your own theme for your glasses. Of course, there's so many different things you can do. You can do, you know, a beach scene. You can do a lake scene. You can do the park. You can do the zoo. You can do, you know, the splash pad in your backyard. You can do just a bunch of wildflowers, you know, in your garden. There's so many different things you can do. So it's your summer selfie, so you get to decide. Now, as far as hair, there's a lot of different things you can do, but you can always refer back to your self-portrait, your masked self-portrait, and you can use that to kind of help you create your own hair. But the most important thing to remember is that this is going to be the top of the head, and this is the bottom of the face, and the eyes are completely hidden. And then it's on the top of that head there where you would have your hairstyle. I hope you guys have a great time doing this. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's a really fun sort of end of year project. Remember that this is due on Friday the 28th or by the very latest Saturday the 29th, okay? Grades are due the following week right away, so I cannot take any late work, you guys, so just get it in as soon as you can. It can be small, it can be big, it's up to you. Just make it work for you with your time constraints. I love you guys. I miss you. I hope to see all of you next school year in person. Okay, bye everybody.